I don't want to be locked in a lab and work for someone else. That's kind of where the breaking point happened for me. I didn't really go well.
Right. So tonight we have Lana with us. Amazing young woman. I don't even know how old you are, but I don't think that even matters. Uh,
Um,
um,
I-
25. Yeah. Yeah, I knew you were young. Yeah. So I stopped dancing when I was 26, 27. So
yeah.
yeah, I think yeah, something like that. All right, awesome. So it's a new stuff for us as well that we are live on. This is first talk show in English on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, all three together. But anyway, if you guys have any questions for Lana, type them in chat, or for me, if you have any comments, anything, knock yourself out. Anyway, we're just gonna start. Anything you would like to say before we start?
Nope. On with
No.
the questions.
On with the questions. Let's go, right? Okay, cool. So first question is always like, how were you as a teenager? So how was the life for you when you were a teenager? What works for you? What didn't work for you? If you give us a brief picture, like that we imagine like where you started and how did it what did you went through that you are here today as you are.
Um, when I was a teenager, I was mostly a calm child. I didn't party, I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't go out much. Um, I stayed in school, I did my homework, I did all of it. I had straight, how do you say it?
Straight
Straight,
A's. A's.
yeah,
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 but for Europe it's fives. Each country has different. So yeah, but we got it. You were an excellent student.
yeah. And then where it all went wrong was when I was a dancer, like you said earlier, we danced together. Um, when I went from my gymnasium to my university classes
Mhm.
or university school, I studied chemical engineering, by the way. Um, I started noticing about myself that I actually hated how I looked like. I started hating myself for I don't know what reason. And I went from dancing to modeling for some reason. And I remember the first day when I got to my modeling manager, he told me I was fat. And that kind of was a breaking point for me because I was already thinking, like before, that something is wrong with me, that I don't feel myself when I looked in the mirror. And everybody around me, like my friends and family, of course, they always said, like, dude, you look skinny. And I was always skinny. I
Mhm.
wasn't ever like a normal weight or like fat. I was really skinny always. And except for myself, I thought that I didn't suit this body or I didn't have a good body image.
Mhm.
Um, and when he told me I was fat, that was a breaking point for me because I really looked up to that person and I started restricting myself of food. I started like if I can just say it, my um daily meal plan looked like, I don't know, I woke up. Back then I was super into Herbalife.
Mhm.
um and as my breakfast I drank a protein shake, so that's what, 100 calories. Then for my first snack it was 10 almonds, not 11, not 12. If it was one more almond I would go throw up in the bathroom.
Mhm.
That's how I slowly developed bulimia as well. So 10 almonds, and for my lunch I ate 100 grams of chicken with a side of a salad, and then another snack of 10 almonds, and as dinner I drank a protein shake again. So that was my basically a yearly meal plan. Back then I lost my period. I had insomnia, I couldn't sleep at night, my hair was falling off. um, I went to the doctor because my mom was really concerned, and they told me that I would develop an how they say it, osteoporosis.
Yeah.
If I don't start eating. That's how I went to find a psychiatrist. They didn't help like at all. And but all this time, like I knew that there was something wrong with me. I just didn't know how to help myself. Like I wouldn't eat the food that my mom would give on my plate. I would restrict myself of food. And I mean, I don't know why I did that. Um, that's how I went from dancing to modeling, and how that stopped was kind of a breaking point for me. When I stopped dancing, I started modeling and going to the gym. At the gym, first time, I was always doing like hours of cardio. I remember waking up at like 7 a.m. first thing in the morning, going first to run in the forest. I would run like 6 kilometers and then came home, eat my poor protein shake, and then I would go to the gym and do cardio on the treadmill for like, I don't know, from 40 minutes to 2 hours. And abnormally long hit sessions for like an hour, which is, hit sessions usually durate between 20 to 30, 35 minutes max. I was doing an hour of hit sessions. I remember my pulse being like 199 beats per minute. Yeah, like insane. And back then, I met someone who actually helped me get into gymming. I was first, when I started with weights, of course, I was afraid that I'm gonna turn into a fucking, I'm sorry, when then I'm gonna turn into a Hulk.
All right. Can I just stop you, because I really, it's not an easy topic to skip, and you open it like, as a teenager you were calm, and
Yeah,
we got that didn't party much, so
I was, yeah,
yeah. But then, I wanna just expose here, right? How we just had a podcast on responsibility, right? And we came at the end that people, we as human beings, right, should be more responsible for what we say and what we do. And in your case, that is a perfect case, right? So you went to the modeling agent and he told you you're fat when you actually weren't, right? That was not a scientific fact. That was just how to say it, subjective opinion. That's all there is, right? And that was enough. So, but my main question here is, you wanted to succeed as model. Of course you went. That's why you went into that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And when he told you you're fat, you do all the necessary things that would actually give you the body that would, you know lift you up into the modeling industry. So how maybe also that developed on the sideways? Did you then do the shows or never did the shows?
Yeah. I was really successful as a model.
Mm-hmm.
I went on Ljubljana's fashion weeks a couple of times. I had a lot of shootings. I was supposed to go to Paris as well, but for Paris, they wanted really strict like body measurements. I would have to lose extra, I don't know, 5 kilos to go there. And I said to myself, like, brag, that's a little bit too extreme for me, because I already lost a lot of weight. Like I think I remember I went from a healthy weight, like around 58 kilos to 49. I remember my lowest was 49 kilos, and I'm 177 centimeters high.
Yeah,
So
we
that's,
are same height. I remember that. Yeah. So
yeah.
that is low, right? So maybe because you said it and you were extremely successful. Can you give us like an insight how is being a model? Because we mostly read, right? We don't have the insight, like how it is, what it needs to be a good model, and stuff
I
like that.
mean, what it needs to be a good model, I don't know. I think that girls just are kind of born with it. Like the camera loves you or it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You are either born that some of the girls might not look appealing for the first sight, but in front of the camera they're like, wow, like the camera loves them. I don't know how it was it for me or with me. I didn't really pay attention to that. I just liked working like that. And I actually, in a really screwed up way, liked looking like I was a cloth hanger, if I can put it like that.
Yeah.
You know, because as a model, models tend not really have a soul or whatever. They were all just, for me, like boring girls, nothing special, you know. There wasn't really a soul in them, or just, I don't know, but maybe I just saw them like
Yeah.
that. And that, um, just normal girls. I don't know if any of them, if I can go back to the topic, even developed eating disorder habits. We never really talked about them. I just know that my modeling agent was also complaining about the other girls, so I wasn't alone in that. But I don't think I was mentally strong enough to kind of look over it or look through it. I got completely run over by his words because, like I said, I was looking up to him. And what I can say now is, to be someone that someone else looks up to, I mean, I don't know. I think I lost my.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No, you're giving great points. It's just like, because it kind of makes sense, right? You're looking up to this guy, and whenever you look up to somebody, it's like, you how to say, you start digesting their words. Their words mean something, right? Mean more than other people's words. Even though if your mom tells you, look, Lana, you might be going into the danger zone, those the words of your model agent were like, they were the ones to look up to, right? So it kind of makes sense that you did everything that you needed to do to succeed as a model, and to have the body measurements as it was necessary. But inside
Yeah.
of that, it's just like, how do you see this situation now? Like, if you would give yourself back advice, that's like usually ungrateful question, but maybe inside of that you can give advice to the young girls who wants to be models, right? So, like, what would it be?
Not to be influenced by others. That's the first thing. If someone tells you you don't look good or you don't weigh low or high enough, if you don't have the perfect measurements, don't try to change yourself. Just walk away from the situation and own your body as it is. Love yourself, and I don't know, never restrict yourself of food, because that was the only mistake I made in my life that I regret.
Yeah, right. And you will talk about this a little later. Uh, but yeah, I would say this is it, right? But I just want to cover it all. It's like, it doesn't mean that, if you are unhealthy, that's okay, right? I mean,
Yeah.
still
I
take
mean,
care. Yeah.
some of the girls are really skinny and they
Mm.
eat like junk food and they eat whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
That's just a topic of their metabolism or
Mm.
genetics. I unfortunately didn't have that genetics
Yeah.
to eat whatever I want and just stay skinny.
Mm.
I ate something and it
Yeah.
showed on
It
myself.
flourished. It flourished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that, right? But it's just like, because I know you are all about health now, and fit body and stuff like that. That is just like, take care of your body. That doesn't mean, put whatever into it, and
Yeah.
in that mean. But all
Of
right,
course.
awesome, awesome. All right, and one other thing as teenagers usually deal with is, like you said, you went to university, and there is always this big question when you are 18, right? What would you go study next? It's gonna be for life, all this. It's like, so how did it come for you? Did you pick it easily, or it was like something you really thought, or it was just like a choice because you had to make it?
I come from a really conservative family. So I have a sister and a brother. Both are older than me. And in my family, it runs like that. The first one, you're going to be a doctor. The second one, you're going to be a lawyer. And the third one, well, you can be whatever the hell you want, except it needs to be a university, not a high school, or how do you say it? A higher school.
Yeah, I got.
Not,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay.
University. Yeah.
So I had to pick between for me to be a veterinarian or a chemist. That was kind of the two topics that were appealing to me. So I went to study chemistry. But yeah, I did not have a choice. I actually wanted to be like a barber or whatever.
All right. Yeah.
Or a nail stylist or something like that, something fun. But no, in my family, it's all organized and it has to be a high class quality school in order for you to be valued, if I can put it like that. So yeah, basic Slovenian family.
Yeah, but I mean, through that, right? It is like you need a paper if you want to be somebody. If you don't have a paper, you're like,
exactly. But when I finished my university, I basically I won't say I finished it for them. I finished it for myself in case, like, I will follow my dreams, but in case something happens along my long way of fulfilling what I want to do in my life, if there's a path that I will fail, I can always go back because I have a paper of a diploma that I can still apply to I don't know, a chemistry lab or something, a chemistry industry. But other than that, after I finished my university, when I started gymming, I really fell in love with that. And I went to do my license for a personal trainer and a nutritionist. So I basically stepped out of the comfort zone of my family for them.
How was that? Like maybe just share a little bit, how it was before when you were actually fulfilling something somebody else put in your life path, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And how it was for you when you choose something for yourself and your thank you Aljaž Kosar and Ursha before for the stream liking. So right, how was that for you when you really chose it, and then how did you dealt with the family at that point?
I mean, at one point I really liked chemistry. It was the fact that as soon as I was like at my last grade, when I just started finishing my school, I started noticing that I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I don't want to be locked in a lab and work for someone else. That's kind of where the breaking point happened for me. I didn't really go well with authority, if I can put it like that. I wanted to be my own boss. And since I finished my school, I got my mom and my dad the diploma and I started doing my own things. Back then I was living in Novo Mesto. Then when I finished my university, I moved to Ljubljana and kind of cut off my entire family, if I can put it like that, because for once in my life, I needed to put myself in the first place and kind of start focusing on what I want and what I want to achieve. Because I'm a believer that like 70% of your life represents your work. If you're not happy in what you do, if you're not happy to wake up and fulfill your goals, then what is the point of life even? So I started doing my own thing, and I'm chasing my dreams. I won't be a coach forever. I know that. I have bigger plans in mind, even with my partner now. And I know I will achieve it. And when you know something is going to happen, when you really believe in yourself and when you really believe in what you are capable of, like, big things can happen. And I know it will happen for me.
Definitely. I mean, uh, just by what you said right now, it's like the mindset that we can all stand behind. just like it's that enrolling, to say it in these words. But I wanna ask you, like, because this show is also about how people find their passions, and then what is necessary to be lived. It's like, is there any passion that you had as a young kid, as a teenager, that you discovered it? Because nowadays it's a lot of these that I did a lot of workshops for teenagers, and what I found out is that there's this apathy. They're like, I don't know what I want to do, no interest in anything. Rarely, here and there you find a really motivated teenager that like wants knows what is actually their passion, or at least an area of what they're passionate about. It's just like a lot of boredom, you know. And it's kind of understandable. That is why I also set up, especially when this epidemic started, these shows, so that we show, look, it's okay, you don't know, so what, you can still find it. And there is a lot of people who didn't know. It's also like me, and then also you, like, right? So maybe how that was for you. Did you had any, or did you all discover them after you hit the gym and you start being enthusiastic about that?
I mean, I was always enthusiast of cooking. Since I was a kid, I remember when I couldn't even reach the stove, I was already trying to heat up my milk, like with,
Mm-hmm.
that chocolate milk we always drank with
Right.
cacao. So yeah, I started cooking directly when I was old enough to reach the stove, basically. And that was my hobby since then and my passion. I don't know. I didn't have any extra, not that I remember, just like
Uh,
for me, cooking and gymming.
right. But did you ever think about yourself as a professional cook, like a chef, like
Yeah,
when you were young, that you will like have your own restaurant, or I don't know, your shop or baking
I
shop?
was dreaming of that. My dad also had an idea of um, me being a chef, but again, I started noticing at a young age that I won't work for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
um, and cooking, when I have to cook something for someone, I don't enjoy it, and
Mm-hmm.
usually it's not that good. But when I cook for myself, when I'm inspired and motivated, um, that's when like my dishes come to life, if I can say it like that, that they are really good,
Mm-hmm.
especially desserts. I'm more of a dessert person than savory,
All
but
right,
yeah.
cool. Kind of makes sense, right? It's like, if you, like you said, if it is on demand, then it's like, nah. But when it's like, all right, here's the kitchen, oh,
Yeah.
I could, and you'll also say more about that, because you post a lot of different recipes on Instagram as well, and then it's fun to watch what you're making. But what I want to say, what there I have a question is like, uh, how did you discover, right, for yourself, like, did anything happen, did you read anything like that you don't like the authorities and you want to work for yourself, and the conventional job it's not something for you?
I actually started working, I think I was 16. My family really never had problems with money. My parents spoiled all three of us a lot, which I do not support, by the way. Um, and I realized that with my siblings, that my parents are really spoiling us. So I decided one day that I want to try a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a job as a, how do you say it, a salesman,
Mm-hmm.
in a, I don't know, a grocery store. I think it was Tuš in
Mm-hmm.
Slovenia. And I was applying for like 2 months of job during summertime because I had nothing else to do, and I just wanted to see like how it is to work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for my job, I needed to like pick the groceries and put them on the shelves and stuff like that. And I realized back then, like they looked down on me so much. The clients, I mean the shoppers, the people, even the my boss that I had back then, my coworkers, everyone looks so down on you. I felt miserable. I
Mm-hmm.
said, if this is like to work for someone else, that they just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because I have so much emotions right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I really didn't like the fact that I was treated like that, like I was something lower than them or less than all the other people there, that I actually quit after 14 days. I couldn't take it anymore. I said, hell no. I came here like with a positive mindset. I wanted to try something new. I really like, I applied for myself, but I saw that no, that this won't work for me like this. And actually, later, next year from that, I applied again for 2 months, and same thing happened. Then I was, I think, old enough, or maybe it was illegal. I don't remember. They put me in the cashier, so like beep
Yeah,
and
yeah.
beep. Um, and I remember one lady was really mean to me that day. I was really kind, and I'm a nice person in general. And one lady came to me and she said, "How can you work on the machine with such ugly nails like that?" And I was fucking shocked. Like I was like, "What the hell? Like why do you want to draw drag down people like that? Like you have a bad day, so you come to the store and just randomly are mean to the cashier lady or whatever, like what?" And then my day from then was completely ruined, and I started to suck on the negative energy of other people. And I started being mean back, to the point where actually some person took their time of their day to go home from my cashier machine and call my boss that I was mean to them. And my boss called me in his office, and he said, like, a lady called me and you were really mean to her. That, like, I just saw darkness on my face, and I said, you know what, I quit. And I left. I went home. The next day I didn't show up again. It was a week or 14 days again, I don't remember. And that's where kind of the breaking point was. Again, like, I will not work for someone else if you are that mean to me. Even when I will study chemistry and I had my practice, I was why would I put so much effort and work into my studies to get really nice grades, and then I would go to a, I don't know, laboratory, and I would, first 5 years of my life with a master's degree, I would clean the surfaces
Reactivates
of
or something.
you know I said, hell no. Like, I can get a lot more cash in a quicker way, and I can do the work that I actually enjoy doing. So yeah.
I mean, great point, right? And that is also, what I encourage, and what this show is out there to encourage young people. Go out there, have experience, and all right, you had experience which you had, and that brought you to where you are now. That's Lana's experience. That it's not like that every uh, um, teenager has that experience when they first hit the work, but at least with experience, its point of experience is then discovery, right? So you discovered what worked for you, what doesn't work, and inside of that you start creating your life instead of just surviving it and just go by what is the normal society thing to do, right? So finish the school, get a job, pay the bills, get a family, retire and die, and yeah, I'm
Yeah.
free, right? so
Yeah.
so but for some people that works, and that is great. If that works for you, pursue that. If that doesn't work for you, pursue something else. But it's hard to pursue what you're really passionate and what you want in life without you experiencing anything. And that is also, so thank you for sharing this. Really appreciate it. And it's okay, right? You said you become a little emotional, because you remember all that frustration, which I think is like a lot present in the society. Like, why are people mean to each other? Like, but it's just there, and it's so cool. All right, cool. I assume that's Dario. You're trying. Right. Hi, Dario. If you're watching, hello.
Copy this.
Doing this, right? You don't say the F word that much. That's awesome. I love you. Amazing, amazing, right?
I actually counted. I said it twice.
All right, cool, cool. You're making notes?
Yes, yes. I'm
All
making
right.
progress with myself as well.
Well, you see, that's it, right? It's all about that. I also just said on Monday, like, how I want this channel and this community to be. It's like, growing together. So, if we each time add something, to be a little better than we were yesterday, like that's it. So, awesome. And that includes guests, everybody who shows up here. So let's keep it like that. The two, what's the end number that you want to get to? It's like the minimum that you would go through.
Wait, that was a question.
Yeah, it's about the F word, right? So how many times
Yeah,
do you have permission to say fuck it in this show?
I actually don't. I was trying to be on a minimum, but I
Okay.
will take I will take two.
All right, cool. So that's it. You reach your max now.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, cool. All right. So you shared about experience, like how did you discover and everything, and I really appreciate all that. Maybe also just one other question from the youth side is like, as a girl, when as a teenager you start, the body changes, the boys start to look start to looking boys a little different. So how was maybe that for you at that time? It's just like you said you didn't go to party, but you might still go out and.
I still went out. I mean, when I was a teenager, um, I actually started my period of partying when I was in primary school, which is not something I am proud of.
Mhm.
I was my last grade, and that's where when I started like drinking alcohol. Not a lot though, because I was tiny and I needed very little to get drunk. Um, but my years of partying went by really quick as well. It was like 2 years, the last year of my primary school and the first year of my gymnasium. And because my first year of gymnasium was all partying and stuff like that, I started slacking in school for the first year and almost failed my grade. And because like I said previously, my family was really like, you cannot fail, you cannot afford a failure, you will not be a failure to our family. um I needed to pass, so I switched my mindset to start really working towards what they want and what I want. I didn't want to um fail my family, if I can put it like that.
Mhm.
So when I was partying in the first grade, I met my first boyfriend, which I was together for 5 years. When I started going out with him, I didn't drink or go party because I didn't need to.
Mhm.
He was more than enough for me and my friends. And then when I went to university, I met another one for year and a half, and now I'm with Dario, and
Mhm.
this is the end of it
This is
for
the
me.
all right, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just
yeah.
like, where if there was, usually what I was also referring, but didn't exactly question, so I'll do it now. It's just like, how did you went through the phase of, there's a lot of questions in my workshops. So I'm always looking with the guests, right? What can I add and answer them? It's like, they ask, how to tell a girl that I like her, or how to tell a boy that I like her. So maybe any awkwardness in that area that was that even though you said that you started dating really soon. I mean, really soon. I don't know if that's soon or not. Everybody judged on their own. But you had your first boyfriend at 15, so
Yeah, I didn't
yeah. So
understand
so
the
was there
question.
any awkwardness about? I mean, awkwardness, like, does he like me? Does he not like me? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was really shy.
Mm-hmm.
I was really shy. I don't know what to put on it.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't make the first move, I wouldn't.
All right. All right. Cool.
It's
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's for all the young guys out there who are, every time asking me, right, how to approach a girl and tell her I like her.
it's up from the guy that to, if you like the girl, then just come up to her. Like, what's the worst that can happen? She can tell you either to, or I like you back.
Yeah, exactly. That's also what I thought of. Yeah, awesome. So thank you for that as well. Hey, all right. So we get back to where we end in the beginning when you say modeling is behind you, the university is behind you, so you hit the gym, move to Ljubljana, and start pumping. So what in the gym so much attracted you that you became passionate about?
Good question. Actually, when I started lifting with weights, I started noticing only then how actually weak I was.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that I couldn't do squats with 8 kilos on my back. And I thought to myself, like, well, I don't think that's normal quite.
Mm-hmm.
And because I really liked gymming, I really liked working out, and I really wanted like to push myself, but I kind of couldn't because I had no fuel in me. I wasn't eating properly. Um, so in order to have more energy in the gym and like start lifting heavier, which I had a goal for, I knew I had to add more food on my plate. So I started with that. I started adding small bits by small bits of more food on my plate, and I noticed I have boosts or bursts of energy a lot more in the gym. So I can use that energy for gymming, and with that together, it was like more energy expenditure throughout the day as well, like
Mm-hmm.
ups and downs in my mentality, but let's leave that. Anyway, yeah, that. um
So yeah, maybe also here to refer back, right? You said you had eating disorder, so you were already gymming while you were having eating disorder. So what actually shifted, right? So maybe tell us a little bit how you dealt with that, how it was for you, right? Having eating disorder, and then how you break through. So maybe some girls or guys who is also dealing with that have at least one idea how to break that and why to break that.
yeah, when I had my eating disorder, I actually was aware that I had it. um like I discussed um in the beginning of our chat, I noticed I didn't have any energy for the day. I started like backing off from my friends as well. I didn't talk to anyone. I started being all alone with myself. Um, and yeah, like I said, I started adding more and more food to my plate. And because you don't eat or you don't have enough fuel in your body, you kind of don't even realize that you cannot even think properly
Mm-hmm.
either. Like my hormones were completely all over the place. And I couldn't focus even for my university for the last year. um, and even your mentality, like you cannot think straight. So I cannot really give a clear answer to
No,
that
it's okay.
because my mind was not completely where it had to be.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started adding more food to my plate, then it hit me, like, oh,
But was that
like,
hard? Start adding food on your
yeah,
plate.
yeah,
But
extremely. It didn't go throughout the night. It
mm-hmm.
went like years. I still struggle with it sometimes, and it's been like what, more than 5 years from it
All right.
already since
Can you share a little bit what actually gets you? I mean, you said I struggle a bit. So what, because a lot of it happens in the thoughts, right? Some thought bumps out and then you give it the meaning, and suddenly when you're giving meaning, you just kind of a sank you down, right? So maybe
yeah.
give us like, what is the thought for you, and how do you break it, and it so that it doesn't struggle, so that it does not affect you in a way that that you then still put the food that you want to put on the plate and eat it.
I don't think I have a clear answer for that.
Okay.
I don't think there's a breaking point. Like there isn't a moment.
Mhm.
Every time I try to eat something, I made a lot more food and I put everything on my plate and I sat down and said, okay, I am gonna eat this right now and I'm gonna eat all of it. But as soon as I started eating, I noticed, like, I ate half of everything that was on the plate, and I was like, yeah, but I kind of have enough now. And I started,
Yeah.
like,
That's it.
okay.
That's it. Yeah.
And I had like a battle with myself in my head, like, no, you will eat this, you will eat all of it. That's why we're here. That's why I made more. You will eat this. Everything will be okay. And okay. And I eat it. And I don't know. It's a battle. Sometimes it went through, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes after I went to throw up, which wasn't really the best,
Yeah.
choice. Sometimes I felt really good. Sometimes it was just a bad feeling or a bad thought, like, oh fuck, now you're gonna be fat. Now I need to work out. Now I need to like burn everything off that I ate. And it's not like that. It doesn't come through days. Sometimes I had like up days and I ate without any guilt like whatsoever, and sometimes I had down days. But the fact that I went through it, even when I had bad days, that kind of helped me along the long way as well, because the more fuel I had, the more clearly I could actually think, and my mind process was more clear. So yeah, it was a battle. I didn't feel good at all. I still sometimes, when I eat like ice cream or something, I have battles in my head, like, multiple personality disorder. I
Yeah,
talk
we
to
all
myself.
have voices in our heads. So.
Exactly. I tell myself, like, no, it's okay. You will not. As soon as I get like a bad thought or whatever, that I want to be in a bad mood now because I ate too much, or like too much for my ego, if I can say it like that, I need to put myself in place every single time, every single day,
Yeah.
if it comes to it.
Yeah.
When a bad thought comes, when a dark place begins to like occur in my head, I need to put myself into place. I don't want to talk about it like with my partner or anything. I know that it's a battle between me and myself. I don't want to bother no one else around me, because I know no one can really help you. I will just bother them with my stuff that's going on in my head. So I know sometimes that's a bad thing to do, to hold it in, but for me personally, it really helps to kind of sit down with myself and have a conversation with myself, to calm myself down and to have like a pep talk.
Yeah.
And what I want to add is, when I do have a good day, I always need to give myself like a pat on the back, to like say, Lana, you did a fucking good job today. Oh, a third one.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's a third one.
Like,
Dario,
yeah.
count. You make it. So she don't. You just go free on. But look, sometimes this word we say it, to actually make, I don't know, to add it to the statement, that it's like more relevant, that it's like really important, right? So it's
Yeah.
in that way. So it's not like
I'm
in.
not bothered
Yeah.
by it, but it's just like
I
when
got it.
other people watch it, and if I curse a lot and I curse a lot, it's not really appealing, so
Yeah,
that's not.
got it. But yeah, but it's also a cool thing if you want to lower it down, every like every
Every
second.
session, yeah.
Yeah, everything helps. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, look, first of all, really thank you for saying all this. I mean, it's, I know it's not an easy thing. You can say, even if it sounds easy when you say it, but it's just like, thank you to picture like how it is, right? So maybe everybody who has people in their life with eating disorder, and everybody who is having it, kind of get an insight what is in front of them, or how they can get out of it, or how it is for the person who is dealing with it. And it's really is not easy, because that statement of the guy, you're fat, when actually scientifically proven you're not, right? But you were just looking for somebody to say something bad to you, because you said, something is wrong with me. So when that guy said you're fat, this is it. And like your identity or your ego, you call it, hooked on it, and it's hooked on it, and it's probably gonna be hooked until the end of days. What will get better is you will catch it and don't give meaning to it, like you said now, right? I sit down, have a conversation with myself, I acknowledge myself every day that I'm not affected by it, and it's like it is an ongoing thing, right?
Yeah, the point that I want to like kind of stand out is to do seek for help, because you do need help along the way, at least to talk to someone that you feel close to,
Mm.
because talking to someone about it actually does help you when you actually, like, even if you have a conversation with yourself, but as soon as you say it out loud, you can actually sometimes even see the answer to your question, or an answer like, oh, okay, I really do, you see it from
Yeah,
another perspective. And to really be aware of your own thoughts, when you realize and you are present and aware that you are feeling those emotions and what you are feeling, every bad emotion, you just need to be aware and present of the moment, and just not let your emotions eat you. Like,
yeah.
people say, you are not your emotions.
Mm. Yeah, exactly right. It's just perfect because I also, I'm also training myself in one education, and we kind of say that as well. It's kind of
Yeah.
out there. It's like what's going on with you internally, right? Emotions and feelings and body sensations and thoughts and memories. It's like automatic. It's like you don't have much control over it. What you have control over it, like what will fly out of your mouth and what will you do. And I think that is great what you said. When you're aware, you can just think, okay, if I'm now going angry, let's say back to Dario, I will probably call it not be good consequences. It's not the consequences. It's not going to be the relationship I want to have with him. So,
Yep.
who can I be in this moment, regardless of these thoughts? And
Yep.
another great
Exactly.
point you said, when you say it out loud, it becomes like a bubble, you just then pinch it. You just see when you say some things out loud that are bothering you, it goes like, Vinko, thank you for the like. It goes like, you say it out loud and then it's just like, how ridiculous. I've been with these thoughts for so long and now I say it out loud and I see the ridiculousness of it and it's
Yep.
kind of, right?
Yep. Yep.
So
Exactly.
look, great things that you're sharing, and yeah, speaking to people, even though this is like you said before, sometimes you had a conversation with yourself saying it out loud. But what I discovered, and maybe you can take it on as well. Here's something for you. It's not a burden when you share yourself with people. It's bigger burden when people see there is something going on with you and you don't talk about it, because then people become worried. So when you actually share it with them, it's like, this is, I always will say this. This is sharing is caring. When you share yourself, you care for yourself and everybody else because they know what's going on, and they can, when we know, it's like much easier to comprehend with whatever there is. Or if you stay silent and go deal with yourself, and I can bet that people who loves you in that moment are wondering what is going on with you, right?
Yep.
So it's like maybe something for you to look into, and sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
cool.
will.
Yeah, do it, right? Just test it out. I say always, look, don't take anything we say here as the truth. Anything that, even if you share from experience, like test it for yourself and see if it works, do it. If it doesn't, ditch it. That's it. Simple.
True.
So yeah, right. So all right, we're now gymming. You find the gymming. You're adding to your plate, right? So,
Yep.
but you're now professional in this, so to speak. You're doing it business wise. You're coaching others. So how did that shift? When did that come along?
When I developed the love for gymming, I was really skinny.
Mhm.
And when I started noticing changes on my body, like I started gaining weight, but healthy weight, like muscle, I noticed how pretty actually bodies can be, like human bodies, how gorgeous muscles are on a human body. I specialized in, like, my goal was to see if someone's spine doesn't go the way it's supposed to go. I can see that from a mile away in a person. And I started like developing love to help people as well with that, because I helped myself with, I had a scoliosis, and but
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay,
now I
yeah.
went
Yeah, you had
away.
it, and it's like
Um,
it's usually passion comes from within, something you're passionate about, or
yeah,
you had
yeah,
something to deal with, and then you know you turn it
No,
into helping
I
others?
yeah, I wanted to help other people as well. I saw how much it helped me, especially mentally, to climb to that peak that I was, or that point, not peak, to that point where I was.
Mm.
And I wanted to help others as well. It didn't matter in which stage of their journey they were, either if they wanted to lose weight or gain weight. I really wanted to help people from, I don't know, like from a selfless matter,
Mm.
just to help them. First, I started doing it for free, even when I had my license, because I really just loved doing what I was doing. And as soon as I started seeing changes in other people and how I developed love with them as well, I mean, how they developed love for what they're doing with me as well, I started falling more and more in love with the sport, and I have so much passion for it up till this day.
Mm.
So yeah, of course I started coaching for money later, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I got it, right? But it's like, all right, cool, right? So people, we find our passion, right? And then especially when you do something with love, usually it's like, I will give this out for free. This is what I love to do. I don't want to charge. This is something that should be basic, that should be like, you know embedded in the society. Like people should have access to this, everybody, for free, right? And on the other hand, we are living in the materialistic world. The monetary system is here, so if you want to like put something on your plate, right, you
I
gotta.
mean,
Yeah,
I had to make a living as well, you know, but
exactly.
at first I just wanted to make or grow with experience
I got it.
before I start doing anything else, you
Mhm.
know.
But how,
Uh,
but this is like the one of the biggest shifts whenever you start the business, right? Especially when it comes from love and really passion about. So was that like easy point for you to say, okay, from now on I will start charging, or was that like you had some, second thoughts, third thoughts, fourth
no,
thoughts, how much am
no.
I worth it, stuff like that?
No, no, it was easy for me.
Mm.
Like I said, this was my job. I need to make a living as well. I'm
Mm.
sorry, I cannot help you forever. Like
Mm.
from this day on, I will charge you. And they were all completely fine with it.
All
Like,
right.
okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then, another thing is when you start your business, how do you get new clients?
For me, mostly a good word spreads or goes a long
Mm.
way. So my clients told their people, and their people told their people, and so on. And of course, social media helped me a lot as well. The majority of my clients, which I got even now, are from social media.
Mm.
Like they find me on social media, follow me, see how I work with people. I even explain to them through like cameras or whatever,
Mm.
or we meet for the first day and I explain to them um, why they want to pick me. Not all of them. I don't. Now I started being like really picky with my clients as well. If we don't vibe anymore, I don't, or if you don't want to work towards your goals, like I have nothing to do with you. For example, I'm with you for what, 2 to 3 hours per week. What
Mm.
else you do, or let's say 1 hour a day.
Mm.
And those 24 hours, you are 1 hour with me. What you do for the rest 23, I have no idea.
Mm.
So if your goal is to, let's say, lose weight, and I have you 3 times a week, and we do like a sick training session, along with when you go for walks on your own, you have to lose some weight, right? And then you go home from my training and disrespect yourself like that, mostly yourself and me,
Mm.
um, by eating like a big ass pizza or whatever. Like, why do you even go to trainings then? Like,
Mm.
why? How can you not love yourself? Why do you do that? Why do you pay me then for, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing. Like, couple of questions here. So how did you build to this moment, right? Because we all know when we start business, it's like usually you're a rookie and you take any client you want, right? Just like because you need to survive. You said it's survival based, right? and then
Yeah.
logically is you build your name, and then it's still up to you whether you will become picky or it's going to still be survival based, because you could still take those clients in, they would pay you, maybe you would even charge them more and they will still be paying you, but they will never get results, which you in this world is like a bad commercial. So maybe, what was the shifting point from you? You said I had
Yeah,
no
but
problems.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I didn't say it correctly
Mm-hmm.
or more clear enough. With those people, it's usually like they really drain me. For
Mm-hmm.
example, like from some clients, I come home boosted with energy, because as a coach, as a personal
Mm-hmm.
coach, from my experience, I have to be the mom, I have to be the sister, I have to be the friend, I have to be the therapist, I have to be the coach, everything. I know their entire life, everything. And some people, first off, they don't want to cooperate with you. Second of all, they drain me so much that, for example, after 4 people that are easygoing, I come home after 4 or 5 hours like filled with energy. And sometimes after one client, I come home like I was hit by a truck.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I started saying to myself, like, it's not worth my energy or my mental health and that matter. And I started cutting people off like that. The
Mm-hmm.
ones that don't serve me for my soul and mind or whatever, I don't have anything to do with them. Sure, it's cash, but I have a lot of people waiting in line for that space. And if it's open for someone else, I
Yeah.
don't need you in that matter. You need me, I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my mindset is
No,
like
no, no,
that.
but it's great because that is, I would call it the smart business, right? It's just
Yeah.
like, and that I think is where where most people like get this. Now it's really popular to get overburned, right? To drain yourself, to lose all the energy from the work, even though it's love. And I think it's exactly what you said. So one thing that stays with me when you were sharing this is, it's self-respect and know your worth, like,
Exactly.
right? And it's really clear why you can also do this. I don't know if you see it like this, but for me, let's say I figured it out, you might agree or not, but it's like, because you have so many battles with yourself, and that if you would be dwelling in your feelings, you would get nowhere. You would be still stuck
Yep.
with eating disorder, right? So
Yep.
people have feelings, I have feelings, and I get over it, and even my ego is crying on the inside because I don't listen to it, right? So actually, when you cut people off, you might hurt their feelings, but you didn't really hurt them. You hurt their ego, which is kind of okay. It's a fictional stuff anyway. It's like
Yep.
something, it's
Yep.
there, and it has nothing to do with nothing. It's just it. So
It's
so
not personal. It's
yeah.
just
No,
what
it's
doesn't
yeah,
serve you has to go. That's my motto. That's kind of going
exactly.
along my life.
Yeah. And it's really cool that you have that in business as well, because I think a lot of business people out there do not see it that way, and
Mm.
they might be cash oriented, but they have a lot of cash, they're not happy, or they have a great business but they're not happy, and they don't know what actually is in their way. I think that is a great point that everybody can look in, like, all right, yeah,
Yeah.
you do with the client, they pay you, but I think what also messes up is this saying, client is the king, the saying. So it's like the customer is the king. So it's like you do anything to satisfy the customer, which I think is the biggest bullshit out there, that
Yep.
exists and needs to get out of our, even conversations. It's like, it's just stupid for, it will drain everybody out. So yeah, customer is a human being. I'm a human being. So if we have, like you said, if we serve each other, then it's a deal. And yeah, of course, because I have more knowledge in this, I invested years. It's correct that you pay me. It's like a natural way of, you get your body the way you want. So for that, you need to give something in return. Since I already have potato, I don't need 10 kilos of potatoes. So, give me money so I can, eat what I want, buy what I want. So
Yes.
like, to put a value on it, that's all there is. And I think that's awesome. that you are having this mindset around it. And it will definitely, like I said before, I was enrolled in what you said. I'm up for big things, and I know I will succeed. And it starts with that. So really awesome, man. So all right, we get this. Your clients, satisfied as a coach. I mean, I can only imagine that you're a brilliant coach, especially if somebody with the spine comes and after a few sessions with you, he's like all straight. I even saw a picture of a guy that you posted in the first session, and then after a few, he was really like straight up, like human body should be. So, so tell me what's up with the cooking?
What's up with the cooking?
Yeah, I mean, we get this. You're a really good coach, right? You fix your people. I mean, fix your people. You give them the tools, they do it, and they fix themselves, so to speak. Correct. Have the body as it's supposed to be. But I know you're also passionate about the food, and you probably also work with your clients on the food side. So
Yes.
what's all about that?
For me, I would say that I'm more of a, even though I'm successful in coaching, I would say I have a lot more knowledge in nutrition that I have in coaching. I'm more specialized in nutrition. I love everything that's about nutrition. Um, and I love to cook. I'm currently writing my first cookbook, which is going to be a little bit different than what we are used to. I have a lot of plans about it as well. Like after this book, a new one, I mean, a lot of new ones will come along. I won't talk about it just now so
It's
that
okay.
people won't
Yeah.
get.
Yeah, but
Uh,
we can like enroll people into like they get a little on their toes, like all right, we are waiting for this book. Let's
yeah.
see.
No, I was promising in another podcast, I was promising for my first book, actually, a dessert book, which desserts would be made only with vegetables.
Mhm.
Um,
So
but
desserts made with vegetables. All right,
yeah,
cool. That's awesome.
so that's I'm saving that for my second book because my first book I wanted to be like, you know, widely spread, like
Mm,
more than 100 recipes that I'm writing now or finishing up more than that.
mm.
So my first book will be out soon. And then yeah, then we go on veggies and so on. I have big
All right.
plans with that.
And
Um,
what's the context behind why
why?
why do you want to put this out among the people?
Since I was, like I was talking to you earlier, since I
Mm,
was a kid, I love cooking.
mm,
And I started really going into it and taking food photography pictures um, a few years ago. And I have so many recipes I want to share with people and especially myself. This book is actually going to be for myself. I want it for me to have all my best recipes collected in one book with my label, with my name and everything on it. So it was like a teenage dream of mine to have a cookbook for myself. So yeah, that's basically it. That's what is driving me towards it.
right. I mean, it's awesome, right? Just another thing that you said here, right? I think it's so many people out there that have dreams as a teenager or young kids, right? And they're just afraid or they don't see the point now to fulfill it. And it's like, Lana, why would you write a book and have it for yourself? I mean, you can, save 100 recipes on a laptop and open it any day. So, why go into that? And to ask you why go into that? It was a teenage dream, but you could say, like I said it now, you could have it on the what's the mindset behind that?
Because I see how much feedback I get from other people on
Mm-hmm.
social media. um, I see how much feedback I get on all of my recipes that I post. I see that my recipes are a lot different than some of the other people that are also sharing their recipes. And I have a huge passion for it, and I want to help myself to have my recipes collected and other people to have access to my passion as well, to see, just to share my passion with others. Basically, that is my main,
Amazing.
how do you say it, what is pulling me forward.
Yeah, I mean the drive. In English
Yeah, the
would be the
drive.
drive, right? So you
Yeah.
have the grind and you have the drive. So when you have the drive, grinding is easy.
Yeah.
So to speak, right? I mean, that's how Dario looks and stuff like that. I would say he's the one who grinds a lot, right? So he
Yes,
could be the
I
one. Right?
feed them a lot,
Yeah,
feed,
yeah, yeah. I saw a post where he said that I wouldn't get here
80%.
without Lana. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
what?
sorry.
What did he say?
That he wouldn't get to where he is without you.
I,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was. I think I saw that.
80% in fitness is diet and 20% is training. He is doing his 20% of training. I'm in charge of the diet in this
All right.
household and I love it. I love it. I love
Mm.
cooking for him. I love cooking for me. I love every time I get guests at my home. Like every time I get guests and they don't want to eat anything, I tell them like you are a shitty guest. You are a shitty guest. Like if I offer you to eat something, you can eat whatever the hell you want. Like do you want pancakes? Do you want like eggs and toast? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want like I don't know
You're one
fries?
of those, huh? You're one of
Yeah,
those
yes,
who just like to feed people. I can already imagine you as a grandma. I mean, your grandkids are gonna be like, "Come on, eat
yeah.
more. You didn't eat enough. You should eat more.
No,
You
I
look so
already told
skinny."
Dario that if our kids are not gonna like do some sport, they're gonna be super fat. I'm really concerned about that.
But
So
I don't think so because you're both sporty persons, so it's kind of a
I mean, you never
kids look
know.
up to you,
Maybe
right?
they want to be like a pianist or something. You never
Well,
know.
it's okay. Good pianist is they
Fat
take
pianist.
a fat. I don't think I think they take care of their bodies. It's not easy to play in front of the whole.
I'm joking.
Yeah, but it would be funny, right? I mean, it would be like an irony, right? Two really sporty
Yes.
people who love nutrition, and then have a kid who is like playing games all day and just eating like
Yep.
stuffing.
Yep.
Right, that would be. But I think with your mindset and how you deal with things is just like you will deal with that easily as well. So and you won't know until you experience it. Anyway, but
True.
so you said vegetable desserts. You said you like cooking. You like baking as well, especially. So it's like is there like any easy? Okay, you said pancakes, right? Everybody loves pancakes. So easy recipe to make a best pancakes if you share it now.
To make the best pancakes.
Yeah.
Actually, my Instagram was um how do you say it was got mad over one of my recipe, which is the simplest recipe ever. It's pancakes without eggs actually. So you just use flour. I usually use spelt flour, like let's say 200 grams of spelt flour, a scoop of protein powder. I use chocolate, some soda, some baking powder, some salt, and milk. That's it. You make a nice thickness for fluffy American pancakes and you make them fry on each side for 2 minutes and they're done. They are amazing.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. And can milk is only cow milk, or it can be like even veggie milk?
No, it can be any milk you desire. If you want a lower calorie version, you can also use water instead of milk. And for a vegan version, you can use plant based milk or water, like I said, and vegan protein powder. And it works perfectly fine. It's delicious.
All
I
right.
really suggest you try it for everyone that's listening to this podcast.
All right. I hope my wife is listening. So yeah, she already said idea for date night. So how we are dealing, it's like I have a lot of projects in my mind. She's currently on maternity leave, but we set up that every Saturday night we have a date night. So after Ty falls asleep, we have a date night. So it's like
Yes.
keep the thing going, like
Pancakes
right,
Saturday.
yeah.
And
Pancake
yes.
Saturday, time for us, and it's like it's needed. Like in partnership, you need time for yourself, time for the cup, for the partner, and time for the family. When family arrives, it's kind of a most time it's with the kids, but the other two is important as much as time with kids. So yeah, inside of that we build that. So thank you for that. I hope you wrote it down. Urša. I hope you wrote it down. What's the spelled flower in Slovenian? I don't know the translation.
Pirina moka.
Pirina. Okay. Cool. Awesome. So that is that. All right. One more question. I always ask people who are in relationships. It's just like, what's the core thing for you guys, that you like in Slovenian would be srčika odnosa. So like, what's the heart of the relationship between you two?
Wait, I don't understand the question very good.
All right,
What
cool.
is
Yeah, what is I don't know how to say it, the glue, the heart, that core thing that's why you two are together.
Good question. I mean, when we met, it was a really weird scenario. He was actually the first and probably the last man on earth who actually, like, physically, I'm talking about physically now, took my breath. Like, I saw him in the gym for the first time, and we were going just in the opposite toilets, and I saw just a huge ass wide back from behind with black curly hair, and this happened, and I just slammed the door of my toilet and like looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, what the hell just happened now? Anyway, that's where I actually kind of knew that there was something about him that, like, this is not the end. And
Yeah.
it was just the beginning. But the glue to our relationship, we are more or less, like, in a weird way, the same person or the same human being. Like, I feel like our soul was split apart, and it's just in both of us, and we kind of like found each other. Crazily, even our birth date is one day apart, so we're both Libras, one day apart.
My grandparents as well, 8 and 9.
Yeah, yeah, and we are like the same person. The funnest thing about us, for me, is like, because I really don't want to be alone, probably abandonment issues,
Yeah.
but let's leave that. Um, and we don't need time apart, like, at all. And I love that about us. We give each other the love and attention that we need. Like, what he is missing, I have, and the other way around. So I am a very clingy person. I can say that now. Like, I need a lot of attention. And he loves clingy. And we, it just
It
goes
matches.
together like bread and butter. So, yeah.
I mean, thanks for sharing that. And it's like, usually I just ask this question for two reasons, right? One is that people share like what really matters to them in a relationship. And the other one is that people see how when we are asked that we can be really awkward about it and need a lot of thinking. And then I just said to everybody what I would say to you now is just like, is it because you two love each other?
Probably.
And that would be like, what is the core thing that holds you two together? And the simple answer, it's love. But we are always going like, it has to be like fancy and shiny, something big, something really extraordinary, different, right?
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, but look, it's just like, I get it, and it's amazing, right? So, and I know why, right? You shared it before. He's from Africa, so it's kind of like the jungle thing. I'm joking, but
Yes. And a fun fact, I got named by an African princess. So
kind of why your parents wrote the future for him, right?
yeah, seriously.
they put you in their laps, in his laps.
Yes.
Well, my bad. Yeah. Amazing, amazing. But the idea I have here, I don't know. I was just saying out loud. I'm that kind of a person. So when I was inviting you, to this talk show, and then even pay more attention, how you're dealing the Instagram and stuff like that. It's just like awesome. You post a lot of it. It's also, I saw him, so it's like, Dario, if you would like to be a guest in this kind of talk show, if you're watching it now, you can say to him, I would love to
I
host
can
him.
ask him. He's there
Oh yeah, if he is willing to answer now, yeah, sure.
now. Dario, are you willing to participate in a talk show? Okay, sure.
All right, awesome, cool. Let's make a plan, right? So, uh, I think I have open in 2 weeks on Wednesday. It would be in English, of course, with him as well. So
Okay, sure.
same
Wait,
time.
do you want him now because he came now?
I mean, he can show himself, but I want to have separate
Sure.
talk show with him.
Fine. So that people see who will they talk to.
Yeah, who is the big back with no curly hairs
Yes,
anymore?
no
Hey
more
man,
hair.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
I just
okay.
gave him a haircut today, so he's kind of bald.
Right, you look, yeah, you're like our son now. No little hair, right? We have a
Yes,
4 months old.
now I'm really the baby.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, now I
So
look just like him.
Yeah.
yeah, awesome, awesome. Hey man, if you want in 2 weeks, we can do similar talk show with you. I would be glad to host you.
Sure.
All
Of
right,
course he's
cool.
not.
All right, cool. Let's say. I mean, Lana said you're from Africa, so we already had one lady from Kenya before with us, and people from USA. So it's like I try to mix it up with internationals as well because it's like a different bring ups and stuff like that. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, so
Nice.
awesome. I'll contact Lana and then we'll hook up.
Okay.
Deal.
All right,
Good luck.
awesome. She doesn't need a like for this, man. It's all good. She smiles and that's it. But awesome, yeah. Okay, thanks for that as well. It's you see, it's that simple. I mean, when you do something with passion and you love it, it's just like I love hanging with people. It's that simple. So, Lana, anything else that it's like you would like to leave people with what you're like, how you're dealing with life, what matters to you, or any pointers, anything, or how it was for you being here tonight with us.
I was first really nervous. Maybe it was heard that my tone and everything changed throughout the talk show. But yeah, maybe simple quote that I would like to add at the end is for everyone that when you figure out what you want and when you want it bad enough, you will find a way to get it and go get your dreams and go chase your dreams. There's no one and nothing that can stop you. The only obstacle in your way is you. So, yeah.
Well said. Perfect, perfect. I mean, I like the sake, and it's true, and it's on point with everything. And yeah, to refer, yeah, you were nervous. That's why I stopped you because it's kind of you went quickly through everything, and I was like, being with it,
Yeah.
and then when you came to the gym, I
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
let's stop and see, right? And I promise you, like before we talk, like it's a safe space, like nobody, nothing bad is gonna happen here. It's no script, So and yeah, of
No, it's
course, yeah,
thank you for having me.
yeah, sure thing. I mean, I I I loved it, and it is a little bit shorter today, to be honest, but it is because you're so on point, and you know where you're going, and you're really following your passions, and we could talk about probably cooking and nutrition for 20 hours, right? But it wouldn't, it's just like if you want to get to know Lana and then work with her, text her, and then you will get all about. Maybe one last question, because you're so passionate about the food, right? And coming from somebody who dealt with the eating disorder, it's just like, what did you discover in nutrition that so much holds you? I want to know more and more and more and dig it, and research it on physiological level, like when I put I don't know, a piece of a pancake in my mouth, what actually happens in my body. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Because of my eating disorder, I wanted to know what I eat and precisely what happens in my body when I eat it. Um, what, like, I started when you know about nutrition more, you know how to listen to your body as well. Like, for example, I know that when I get days when I'm feeling down or whatever, it's like a specific feeling. I cannot really explain it right now, but like I immediately know either with me or with Dario when he is like, and he, and I don't need to be with him like the entire day or that day for that matter. in any sense, and I know immediately what he's lacking. For example, like if he was dehydrated that day, and or with myself when I'm lacking fats in my diet, you start listening to yourself, and the more knowledge I have of nutrition, the more clearly I see the little micro changes with myself. It's like, you know, a body language, the micro changes of your face, when someone can immediately notice whether or not you are lying or whatever. I started noticing with myself and learning about myself. And more knowledge I have of nutrition, the more and more I can read myself and immediately give myself what my body needs for it to function properly. Maybe
Right,
that.
and also for your clients then, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right. I mean, awesome, right? It's just this, you just, you know, change something, like, because I know a couple of people who are dealing with eating disorders, and I know it's not easy because, you know, it's just, it's addiction in a way. That's why it become disorder. Any addiction, anything you're addicted of, how to say, transformed into disorder later on. So and it's not easy to get off anything. It's always, like you said, this battle. The voice is there, and it's kind of a try to pull you back all the time, like this life, it's too dangerous for your ego, right? So it has to go back to what it's safe. And yeah, you're dealing with it like right in the face, right? All right, cool. You know, ego says don't eat. I'm gonna search, you know, what that caused with my body. So all right, cool. That's not cool. So, you know, and it's just amazing. So look, really thank you to say yes, to give us this, to give us the amazing recipe for, you know, like, that is the peak of the that is the peak of the show, like, uh uh amazing recipe for the pancakes. Mike Wood, by the way, said, very true, I am my own worst enemy, which is like, yeah, there is a Chinese proverb, I think, that, no, in a sense, right, don't hold me up to account, but like, no victory feels as good. You can beat 1000 enemies, and it won't feel that good when you beat yourself.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep.
yeah. So look, really thank you. I'm glad that you had fun, that, you know, the nervousness went away, and you start smiling, and bring out all the shine, and, you know, what you also put in then in the stories and stuff like that. But, you know, I get it, you don't do it every day. It's like, it's the one of the biggest fear for people is public speaking, or speaking into a camera, especially when it's live. If it's recorded, we're like, okay, cool, they make it cool, look cool. This is not gonna be edited in any way, just intro, outro, that's it. You
Yeah.
know, but look, and you only said 3 times fuck, which is amazing, right? For somebody who curse a lot, right? So Dario, you can be proud of her. And look, really awesome, right? Keep on doing what you're doing. It's like, you know, serving the people, serving yourself, and fueling the passion. That's it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. You know, a little shorter today, but it's not that shorter. It's not the shortest one, so don't be sad. But it's a lot of value, and I think this is it, right? The value is important. Quantity over quality over quantity. So yeah, so there will be some streaming happening this week as well inside of gaming, and then on Sunday, talk show with Masha, who is a young mom, who is a businesswoman. You know, she was by profession a history and social something teacher, professor, and then she shifts on her own business. So she will share all about that, and, you know, ups and downs and stuff like that. So another interesting conversation. Sundays, you know, it's always in Slovenian, so it's gonna be in Slovenian language. Until then, you know, until the next time, thank you for being us. Hug somebody, tell them you love them, and see you soon. Bye bye.